take this opportunity to officially welcome you all to this very important session. As a country, we've done some work in terms of trying to mobilize resources for this country. We have the enabling policy environment. In our national policy on climate finance of 2018, green bonds was identified as one of the very important instruments to enable us to be able to mobilize additional capital to advance the green economy agenda.
It was a corporate green bond. We've only listed one. And I think as an economy, we can do a lot more to develop a pipeline of green bond projects that allow particularly county governments to leverage it.
So let's start talking about what exactly are green bonds. We always heard about green bonds, social bonds, sustainability-linked bonds, but what exactly are green bonds? According to the International Capital Market Association, which is the global body for capital flow, it defines a green bond as an instrument that is labeled or differentiated that is exclusively used to finance green projects in quotes.
We did a successful listing of the first green bond in East and Central Africa, which was ACON. Some of the factors that led to the success of this green bond was the fact that ACON had a guarantor. They were able to guarantee 50% repayment on the principal amount and on the interest.
Important instrument in terms of mobilizing resources to advance the green growth agenda in this country. It's been identified, as I mentioned, since we started the journey of climate change and green economy. So our green economy strategy and implementation plan of 2016-2030, and even our first action plan of 2013-2017 identified green bonds as an innovative instrument to be able to mobilize resources for implementation of those strategic documents.
So the big question is, do you think this is the right time for counties to actually be sourcing for green bonds?
Bonds depends on the market. And the markets depends on the risks. And the difference, the premium, if you look at the premium and the amount you want to raise, those challenges have to be looked in a broader perspective, which is linked to what is going on globally and also what is happening here in the county at the moment.
And I think when we look at the work we've been doing and the use cases that have been arising on how to use green bonds to address a lot of the fiscal challenges, a key opportunity we're seeing is actually in debt and climate swaps. The way we've been seeing an aggregation of the assets as we've been going across counties, it would not be difficult for us to work with the county governance in partnership with the National Treasury to see, are there ways we can aggregate these assets and make them a material contributor to a debt climate swap that then has a material effect on reducing or alleviating some of the fiscal pressure being faced at national government.
Us at the National Treasury developing a green bond framework, a sovereign green bond framework, because you can either issue a green bond as government or as a private sector. Private sector will be now a corporate green bond. The government will be a sovereign green bond. So we developed the sovereign green bond framework for us as a country at the national level to be able to guide the processes of issuances of green bonds.